Once upon a time, in a kingdom, there lived a poor and elderly man. Despite his humble life, even the king envied him. One day, something unexpected happened that made the old man famous throughout the entire kingdom. This is the story of an old man from the Sundar Kingdom who earned his livelihood by selling firewood from the forest. Though poor, he was well known for his peculiar wisdom and his magnificent white horse. The horse was unlike any other in the entire kingdom, or even in the neighboring regions. Its beauty was so extraordinary that it stirred envy even in the king's heart. Many wealthy individuals, including the king, offered generous sums of gold for the horse, but the old man refused to sell it. His response was always the same. "This horse is not just an animal. It is a member of my family. It is not a possession to be sold for money. I cannot trade a family member for wealth." One morning, the old man discovered that his beloved horse was missing from the stable. He searched everywhere and asked the townsfolk, but the horse was nowhere to be found. The news spread quickly and people came to mock the old man. "This was bound to happen," they said. "You're poor and frail. How could you protect such a valuable horse? If you had sold it to the king, you could have lived comfortably in your old age." The old man listened quietly and replied, "The only truth is that the horse is no longer in the stable. Whether this is good or bad, only time will tell." A month later, to everyone's surprise, the horse returned. It hadn't been stolen, but had wandered into the forest. Even more astonishing, it brought along 12 wild horses of the same breed. The news spread like wildfire, and people rushed to the old man's house to congratulate him. "You were right," they said. "Losing the horse wasn't misfortune. It was a blessing. Now you're rich with so many horses." But the old man remained calm and said, "The truth is that my horse has returned with 12 others. Whether this is a blessing or a curse, we'll have to wait and see." The old man's son began training the wild horses. However, just 3 days later, he fell from one of them and broke his leg. Once again, people gathered to express their opinions. "How unfortunate," they lamented. "Yaining the horses wasn't a blessing but a curse. Now your son is injured and can't help you in your old age." The old man responded, "The truth is that my son has broken his leg. Whether this is good or bad, only time will reveal." Not long after, the kingdom was invaded by enemies, and the king ordered all able-bodied young men to join the army. Many families were devastated as their sons were sent off to war, unsure if they would ever return. However, the old man's son was exempted from the draft because of his injury. Once again, the villagers came to the old man. "You were right," they said. "Your son's broken leg turned out to be a blessing. He's safe while our children are at war." The old man calmly replied, "The truth is that your sons have gone to serve the kingdom, while mine remains here. Whether this is good or bad, no one can say for certain." He continued, "The key to peace is to stop labeling events as good or bad. Life is like a book, and you can't judge the entire story by reading just one line. Similarly, you can't define your entire life by one event. Focus on your actions and thoughts instead of worrying about fate or what others say. True happiness lies in living in the present moment, doing meaningful work, and letting go of unnecessary judgment."